Hi, I'm Steph from Simplicity Happens, and today's tutorial features how to create duck clip art in PowerPoint. And this is great for teachers, parents, and those on Teachers Pay Teachers. So let's get started creating our duck clip art now. I'm in the process of thinking about starting a Facebook group to keep everyone up to date on how to create clip art and create new tutorials each week. And I'd also love to see the clip art that you make and create a discussion with other people in this community who are wanting to learn how to create clip art for their Teachers Pay Teachers stores. So in the comment section, go ahead and say you're interested. I'd love to hear from you, and let's get started creating this duck now. Hello and welcome. Let's get started creating our duck. We'll first start with the duck's head by going up to Insert, Shapes, and let's scroll down under the basic shape section and we'll select the oval. Once we see that plus sign, we can just click and drag it out. And at this time, we're going to go up to shape format and enter our dimensions. Into the shape height box, let's enter 2.11. And into the shape width box, we'll enter 2.22. Now we can come over here to shape fill, and all the way in this last column at the end, we'll scroll down and choose this dark green color. We'll select that. And then at this time, we can go into shape outline and scroll down and choose no outline. Next, we can go ahead and create the duck's outer eye. So at this time, I'm just going to go up to Insert, Shapes, scroll down under Basic Shapes, and select the oval again. Just click and drag this out. Come on up to Shape Format, and let's enter our dimensions. In the Shape Height box, let's enter 0.74. And in the Shape Width box, we'll enter 0.61. Now we can come over to Shape Fill. We'll Shape Fill in white. And then come over to Shape Outline. Select the black outline. Go back into Shape Outline, and we'll scroll down to Weight. And at this time, we can choose a 3-point thickness. With the outer eye selected, let's go ahead and copy and paste by pressing down on Control-C, Control-V. And then come up to Shape Format, and we'll enter our dimensions for the inner eye. Over here in the Shape Height box, let's enter 0.45. And in the Shape Width box, we can enter 0.39. Now at this time, we're going to Shape Fill in black. And then using these 4 arrows at the bottom, we can just click on those and pull this up to put the duck's eye in the center. And if you notice those red dashed lines running horizontally through and vertically through the center of the eye, that tells you that it aligns nicely. So I'm going to click off of there. With that still selected, let's press down on Shift and Control, and we can select the outer eye, and then come on over to Group and Group. And then we can just hover over the eye, click on it, and bring it over here to the duck's head. Next, let's create the duck's beak by going into Insert, Shapes, and we're going to scroll all the way down into the flowchart section. And in the second row, let's go to the last shape. It's called the flowchart delay. Once we click on it and see the plus sign, we can just drag it out and then come up to Shape Format, and we'll enter our dimensions. Into the Shape Height box, let's enter 0.5. And into the Shape Width box, let's enter 1.13. Now we can come up to Shape Fill. And at this time, under the Standard Colors section, I'm going to choose the orange color. Then I'm going to go back into the Shape Fill, scroll down to more fill colors. And right now I'm under the Custom tab, so I'm going to click on this Standard tab instead, and then scroll down, and I'm going to choose this darker orange color for the beak. And then for the shape outline, I'm going to go into Shape Outline and scroll down and select No Outline. Now I'm going to go into Insert, Shapes, and under the Lines section, I'm going to choose this first line. And then I'm going to bring it over here. And when I do, you'll notice those little gray dots kind of just popped out. So I'm going to click and drag from this gray dot on the left side to the gray dot on the right side. Then I can come into shape outline and also choose a nice orange color, but I want this to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to go back into shape outline and scroll down and choose more outline colors. This time I'll go into the custom tab and I can use this black arrow here to just scroll down to give me a little bit more of a darker orange color to give it a little definition. I'm going to go back into shape outline now, scroll down to weight, and then I'm going to scroll down and choose a 3-point thickness. Now with the line selected, I can press down on Shift and Control and select the beak with the line and then come up to group and group. And now I can just bring this over to the duck's face and send backward. And then I can use the circular arrow to kind of move the beak up and give the duck a little bit of character here. Next, let's create the duck's neck by going up to Insert, Shapes, and let's scroll all the way down under the flowchart section. And in the second row, let's choose the flowchart delay again, the very last shape. Once you see that plus sign, let's just click and drag this out. And at this time, we'll go ahead and enter our dimensions. Let's enter 0.92 in the shape height box and 1.79 in the shape width box. Now we can come over to shape fill, and in this third column toward the end, we'll go ahead and scroll down and choose this dark brown color. Go ahead and select that, and then let's scroll into our shape outline and scroll down to no outline. Now we can just use this circular arrow to bring it around and flip it vertically. And then we can just bring this over to the duck's head and we'll put it right underneath. And then we can send it backward. Now we can create the little stripe on the duck's neck by going up to Insert, Shapes, and let's scroll down into the rectangles section and choose the first shape, the rectangle. At this time, we'll just click and drag it out. And then let's go into our shape format section and enter our dimensions. So into the shape height box, let's enter 0.15. And into the shape width box, we'll enter 0.92. Now at this time, I'm going to bring it over to the duck's neck to make sure that everything lines up nicely. And then we can go into shape fill and choose white, and then go into shape outline and scroll down to no outline. At this time, I'm just going to make sure it's nicely aligned. And then next, let's go in and create the duck's body by going into Insert, Shapes, and under the Basic Shape section in the second row, the fourth one over, we'll choose the teardrop shape. Now that we see that plus sign, we'll just click and drag it out. And I'm going to go up to the shape format section and enter the dimensions. So in the shape height box, let's enter 3.24. And in the shape width box, let's enter 5.13. Now I'm going to put this in the same color as the duck's neck. So I'm just going to select the duck's neck, go up to Home, click on the Format Painter icon, and then bring that over and click on the duck's body. Now I'm just going to bring this over and kind of nicely line it up and also go into shape format and send backward. Next, let's move the body down to elongate the duck's neck. And now we can go ahead and get started creating the duck's wings. So let's go up to Insert, Shapes, and we're going to scroll down under the Basic Shape section into this third row. We'll scroll all the way toward the end and select the moon. Once you see that plus sign, let's just click and drag this out. I'm going to use this circular arrow to turn it around just a bit. Come up to Shape Format, and let's enter our dimensions. Into the shape height box, let's enter 2.55. And into the shape width box, let's enter 0.58. Now I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste this. So with it selected, let's press down on Control C, Control V. And for duck wing number 2, let's go up to Shape Format and enter our dimensions. Into the shape height box, let's enter 2.49. And into the shape width box, let's enter 0.79. Now let's copy and paste this one by pressing down on Control C, Control V. And for our third duck wing, let's go up to Shape Format again, and into the shape height box, we'll enter 2.55. And into the shape width box, we'll enter 1.18. Next, I'm going to choose a light and dark brown color scheme for the duck's wings. So the first thing I'm going to do is select that first wing and then come up to Shape Format. And in this third column toward the end, I'm going to choose this light brown color and then go into Shape Outline and choose No Outline. Next, I'm going to select the second wing, come up to Shape Fill, and at this time I've selected a darker brown color with no outline. And then the third one, I'm going to choose another light brown color with no outline. Now I'm just going to put these together and tweak them. Once the duck's wings are completed, let's select that first wing, then press down on Shift and Control and select the remaining 2 wings. Once everything's selected, let's go up to Shape Format, Group, and Group. And then we can just bring the wings over to the duck's body. Now let's get started on the duck's tail. At this time, we can just select the duck's wings, or if they're already selected, just go ahead and select one of those wings. Press down on Control C, Control V. We'll just bring it over here. Let's go up and enter our dimensions. So in the shape format section, let's go over to the shape height box and enter 2.18. And in the shape width box, we'll enter 1.38. Now at this time, I'm going to use a nice light brown color. So I'm going to choose this color for the duck's tail with no outline. And then I can copy and paste because the second tail is also going to be the same height and width. And then I'm going to copy and paste by pressing down on Control C, Control V. And this one's going to be a little bit different. So come on up to shape format. And for the duck tail number 3, let's enter our dimensions. Into the shape height box, let's enter 2.92. And into the shape width box, let's enter 1.03. Now for this one, I want to go in and shape fill in a darker color. So I'm going to use this super brown color here. And now I can just tweak the duck's tail. Once you have the duck's tail where you like it, and this might take a little bit of tweaking and that's okay, but at this time I'm just going to see if this works. So I'm going to select the first part of the tail and then press down on Shift and Control and select the remaining pieces of the tail and then go up to Group and Group. Now I can bring this over to the duck, and because it falls in front of the duck, I'm going to go to Send to Back. And now I can just bring this in just a little bit and see if I like the duck's tail. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and keep that. I might move it out a little bit, but you might just have to do a little bit of tweaking on your end as well. Now let's go ahead and group the duck together by selecting the duck's head, eye, beak, neck, stripe, body, wings, and tail. Go up to shape format and we'll group and group. And at this time, I'm just going to move the duck up a little bit so we can get ready to create the duck's feet. So the first thing we'll do is create the duck's legs by going to Insert, Shapes, and let's scroll down and we'll select this rectangle. Now we can just click and drag this out and then come up to shape format, and in the shape height box, let's enter 2.08, and in the shape width box, we'll enter 0.3. Now we can come over to shape fill and choose a nice orange color. And because I want to choose the same color as the duck's beak, I'm going to select the duck and then select again on just the beak. Go up to Home, click on this Format Painter icon, and then we'll also click on the duck's leg. Now we can go ahead and copy and paste by pressing down on Control-C, Control-V, and create our duck feet. So I'm going to go up to Shape Format and enter our dimensions. Into the Shape Height box, let's enter 0.86, and into the Shape Width box, let's enter 0.2. Now I'm just going to use this arrow and move this around just a little bit and put this around the duck's leg by copying and pasting. So I'm going to push down on Control-C, Control-V, and again on Control-C, Control-V. And now I'm just going to maneuver this around to create the duck's feet. I'm just going to also put this one on really quickly and get that created. Now what I'm going to do is press down on Shift and Control because one of the feet is selected. So Shift and Control, and I'm going to select the remaining ones and then click on Group and Group. And now what we can do is create the webbing on the feet by going into Insert, Shapes, and we're going to scroll down under the Basic Shape section and select this isosceles triangle. Once you see that plus sign, let's just click and drag this out. Come up to Shape Format, and in the Shape Height box, let's enter 0.59, and in the Shape Width box, let's enter 0.39. Now we can come over to Shape Fill and choose a lighter orange color. So at this time, I'm going to select the orange color, but then go back into Shape Fill and select more fill colors. And under the Customs tab, let's just use this black arrow to toggle up just a tad, make it a little bit lighter. That will add some definition. And let's go into Shape Outline, and we can select No Outline. Now at this time, we can just use this arrow here and place the triangle right in there. Now at this time, if you have to tweak the arrow or the triangle, that's fine. Just go ahead and do so. That will change the dimensions, and that's totally fine. Once you have it to where you like it, let's go up to Shape Format, and we can go ahead and send it backward. And now let's copy and paste by pressing down on Control-C, Control-V. And I'm just going to use this arrow to maneuver it around. I'm also going to place this one backward as well. And I might just need to change the dimensions a little bit so that it fits nicely. Once you have it where you'd like it, let's go ahead and we'll select the duck's leg and feet, and then also go ahead and select the little webbing between the feet. Go up to Shape Format, and we'll group and group. Now we can just bring this over to the duck's body, and let's send it to the back. And then at this time, I'm just going to rotate by flipping horizontally. And we can kind of just maneuver it behind there. But now that this first leg is completed, let's go ahead and press down on Control-C, Control-V. And we can go ahead and get the second one completed. So I'm going to go up and send it backward as well. All right, so now we have a cute little duck. Let's go ahead and group everything together. Going to select the legs and the body and group and group. And then we can align and align center. All right, and there is our adorable little duck that we can use for our lesson activity. And last but not least, let's go ahead and select the duck, right click, and we can select Save as Picture to put this somewhere safe on our desktop. And of course, always keep your original so you can come in and make modifications. I hope you've had fun today creating this duck clip art with me, and stick around. I'll be back next week with another clip art tutorial. See you then. Bye.